Hey guys, Lord Sora here. As we are finishing the first week of Season 6, I wanted to give you guys an immediate build guide and update on the state of Soulrift Unmaker build. I have already released a bunch of videos regarding this build since PTR and how to play it, covering in-depth mechanics and some of the key breakpoints you need to pay attention to. Link to those videos are listed below in description. Make sure to check them out because it will help you immensely to understand how to play this build. First day of the season, I have released a very endgame version of this build which required a lot of GG endgame gear. However, it turns out season 6 grind is much more taxing and getting GG items is not as easy as previous seasons because this build is very gear heavy and requires a specific gear to make it work. Now I am also releasing a non-mythic minimum viable setup version of it where you can get the build online much easily. The gear I'm showing with screenshot is the actual gear I was running during the pit run in the background. You can also verify and see my gear overview at the end of the video. But let's dive in. Let's cover some of the important things that you need to know and how to gear up to be able to play this build. For our helmet, we will run an Unmaker, as this is an Unmaker build. This is the most important piece of gear you want to get, and make sure that you have a good one with a good aspect. In terms of GA, the most important stats here, the chance to double deal damage, as well as resource generation. I covered why resource regen is important in my breakpoints video, again linked in description. If you want to understand that in more detail, make sure to watch that video. But the main point is that this resource generation buffs the essence we gain from our tempered. Macabre skills give essence tempering. Chest piece, I have hardened bone aspect as it gives us a DR with all res, armor, max life. So in world tier 4 we can hit all of the caps, and we are able to do so with this setup without needing Tyrael's Might. If you have Tyrael's Might, it's much easier to obviously hit the rest caps, and you can save a lot of other affixes on your other gears. As our pants, we are wearing Blood Moon breeches. As you may expect, this is a must-have in any overpowered build at this point, that it gives us 145% multiplier. You want the GA to be max life and ideally triple crit masterwork that. Glows, we are actually running Fist of Fate. The main reason I'm running Fist of Fate is because we can afford an aspect slot and it gives us a huge amount of lucky hit chance, especially you want to find the 1 GA lucky hit chance one. And the damage multiplier below, you can see that nets us a very high damage numbers. There is a variance to it, but overall it's a very effective item. You may ask, why do we care about the lucky hit? You will see shortly that we are tempering lucky hit restore essence on our mace one-handed weapon. Early on, before the build is fully online, you will notice this yourself. Without having 12 out of 12 masterworking gear, it can be quite hard to generate enough essence to be full each time we cast Bone Spirit. Lucky hit chance and restore essence on lucky hit really helps here. On our mace, we are running Damned aspect, which scale our Unmaker damage. One thing to note here is that shadow damage over time does not scale Unmaker. However, shadow damage itself does. As a direct damage, it scales the Unmaker's damage. So shadow damage over time does not, but shadow damage does. You definitely do want to have a chance to Soulrift to deal double damage tempering on this weapon, and as you are able to see, we have the lucky hit restore essence here, which synergizes as well with my previous point of Fist of Fate. On our offhand, we are running focus with maximum resource, crit chance, and cooldown reduction. Maximum resource helps us here reach the breakpoints for Unmaker, as well as cooldown reduction with being able to spam Bone Spirit without having to wait for its cooldown. On our jewelry, we are running accelerating to give us more attack speed. Attack speed is highly important in this build as we are looking to cast Bone Spirit as much as possible to increase our overall DPS. Hence why I prefer running one-hander over two-hander in the setup. Especially we can also run maximum resource and a cooldown reduction on our focus. The most important temper here is the Macabre skill restore essence. Every time we cast Bone Spirit, we're able to proc this and regenerate essence, hence proccing Unmaker. On our second ring, we are running Grasping Veins to hit crit cap, and again, most importantly, Macabre Skills Restore Essence. Unfortunately, you can see all my aspects here, legendaries, they are not even fully maxed out. They're not masterworked. Um, we are having to rely on runes to be able to also crit cap. So it's really suboptimal setup, but it gets the job done already. On our amulet, these are not the ideal stats I would like to have in the end game, but I got this one with a GA cooldown, so it helps significantly with my bone spirit rotation. Ideally, I would like to have here gloom and intelligence percentage, potentially again cooldown reduction or maximum life, depending on where I stay in those breakpoints. As an aspect, we are running sacrificial, which is really a big multiplier since we're doing a shadow damage. We are sacrificing Reapers, giving us another multiplier. But as you can see, most of my aspects, again, not a maxed out, which I think speaks to the true potential of this build as we continue to min-max. For our Book of the Dead, like I mentioned, we're sacrificing Reapers for shadow damage, Bone Mages for overpower damage, and Iron Golem for critical strike damage. I have a whole detailed video covering runes and how I use them to show the overpower mechanic, but the most important combination is here. We are running Yule with Zen, and please do check out the video, link in description. It will demonstrate how to utilize these runes in greater detail, which is an absolutely must have to play this build, which might be a turn off to some of you, but I highly encourage you to check that video out and give this a try. I think it makes a really rewarding gameplay and it's a really strong build. I really do expect close to 20 billion DPS on this build with a fully decked out setup, so we shall see where it goes. Unmaker and Soulrift interaction again is one of the coolest things that actually happened to the class in my opinion, and I think there are tons of other various ways to build it that I am sure we will get to see potentially from other content creators in the following days. I'm going to continue pushing with this and my other Shadow Wave build and see how far we can take these builds. I have already released tons of content since the start of season 6. Check out my channel, check out the other videos. I think I have some helpful information there and other necromancer related build guides. And if you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, comment below, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.